So there's this town with a rat problem that's been terrorizing the people in the town. And this guy with odd clothing with a pipe comes up and talks to the mayor. He's like, "Hey, I can get rid of your rat problem." And the mayor agrees for 1,000 gold coins. So basically, the guy plays his flute and he attracts all the rats and he leads them to a river and drowns them. But upon his return, the mayor decides only to do 50 gold coins because he believes that the Pied Piper guy led the rats there. So the Pied Piper decides to go boot gang on the kids and steal all the kids by mesmerizing with the pipe and leading them to the river to drown them. So the reason that people allude to the Pied Piper of Hamelin is because of its many themes and the fact that it's just a fairy story that everybody kind of is familiar with. And so like the themes of, um, gotta pay the piper, which means basically you always have to pay your debts or you have to pay the consequences. They also allude to the fact to keep your children away from strange people, such as men, because of the Piper. He led them all away. And so that brings us to the story of Rumpelstiltskin, which is about this guy. He's got like a hot daughter, and he goes to the king saying that, like, I have this daughter you can spin straw from gold. And so the king's like, I'm gonna finesse this guy, and he asks his daughter to come to the castle, and he gives her 3 days to fill a room full of gold from straw. And the girl starts crying because she has no idea what to do. And this guy comes out of a door out of nowhere, and it's a little dwarf guy, and he's like, "Why are you crying?" And so he offers her a trade for her necklace and for a ring on a second night, and for her first child on a third night. And she agrees to this, and King is delighted and asks her hand in marriage. And so, like a year later, the king and his daughter, now her queen, has a child, and the dwarf comes back for the child, and the queen doesn't want to give it up, so she starts crying, and he pities her, so he gives her three tries to guess his name, and she searches out messengers, and the messenger comes back on the third day, and he's like, I found this little dwarf guy. He's like chilling by a fire, and his name is Rumpelstiltskin. So she's delighted. She guesses the name. The guy gets really mad, buries himself into a hole, and rips himself in half out of rage. So the reason why people will lose to Rumpelstiltskin is because it's a really familiar story, because everybody's familiar with Grimm's story of Rumpelstiltskin. And so the themes that come out of this that people allude to is turning straw to gold, which is just a classic rags to riches story here, foreshadowing overnight transformation of the poor miller's daughter to a queen, and you have knowing someone's name. And this is some superstition that people feel more powerful or more dangerous when you put a name to it, as if knowing the name gave the evil definition or just dominance over a person. And then we also see the simple theme of don't make promises you don't get keep. The queen had no idea she was going to even have a first child, and she just threw out that promise like it was nothing. So those themes are basically morals that you pull from these fairy tales that people allude to. This is the story of Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, which is a story about a woodcutter who's kind of poor. He finds a cave full of riches, learns the passwords open sesame and close sesame. When the cave leaves, he takes some of the money for himself. His brother finds out about it and tries to pull off a bank heist and basically steal all the gold in there, but is caught by the thieves and killed. The thieves try to exact revenge on it, but Ali Baba's faithful slave counteracts the thieves' attempts to mark his door and saves Ali Baba. The captain of the thieves attempts to kill him by smuggling in his thieves into his household in jars of oil, but Morgana is able to foil the attempt by putting oil into those jars and killing them. She also kills the captain before he can stab her with her own dagger. Loyalty is rewarded with freedom and Alibaba's son's hand in marriage. And Alibaba returns to the cave, takes all the treasure back to his village, and lives happily ever after. The reasons why people allude to Alibaba is also because it's just a familiar story that everybody kind of knows about. The idea of open sesame seems to refer to opportunity or a door opening for somebody to better improve their situation. It also provides moral themes such as good triumphs over evil, the Alibaba over the thieves, and that karma is shown here because it just shows that jealousy and greed never really work out for any, and that loyalty is rewarded. We see the Morgana is freed as a slave, and he gets married to Alibaba's son.